Human conditioning, the gravitational force which is there in all our behaviors but is hardly visible. I came across this beautiful truth about human conditioning in one of Eckhart Tolle's lecture, where someone in the audience asked this question: how can I change the conditionings of my partner? My partner and me seems to have gone to different schools of thoughts and come from completely different way of thinking. And that triggered the question of how difficult it is to understand human conditioning. Just see the factors. All that I can feel is pity on human condition because of human conditioning. You are born of two parents. Two parents bring their parents with them, and then they further add their condition, the moment which they are going through, the feelings which they have while they conceive the baby, the situation they are in while the baby is conceived and while the baby is being nurtured in the womb of mother. Is it not conditioning? And then, after the birth of the child, the kind of environment the baby observes, whatever it sees in and around, that becomes the part of conditioning. And then further, the baby goes to a certain set of teachers, certain set of friends, certain set of schools. There further conditioning happens. And then you go to college. There further conditioning happens. And then we also study history, the different fights that have happened, the different pains that have been inflicted. All that becomes part of our conditioning. And thus, we just become the simple products of conditioning. And we actually become the victims of conditioning. And this conditioning is the whole cause of any difference between two human beings. When you argue with somebody, you can observe that you are coming from a set of conditioning and the other person is coming from a set of conditioning. And when this question was asked to Eckhart Tolle, that what should we do when we want to change the fundamental conditionings of our partner, he replied in the most beautiful manner. His reply was like this, that when a caterpillar is crawling and you would say that how can I change the caterpillar into a butterfly? You see, right now, I want the caterpillar to be converted to butterfly because I don't like the caterpillar. It's itchy, it's eggy, it's silly. But then, even if you scold the caterpillar, like you are like this, you're like that, I don't like you, I just want you to become butterfly tomorrow. Can the caterpillar become butterfly tomorrow? Will the metamorphosis take time? Should the caterpillar question its existence, its way of life? Then probably becoming a butterfly is not just the intention of the caterpillar, but also would await the time that is needed for the metamorphosis to happen. But alas, we human beings, we expect the change in others as if change is like changing toothbrush. You go and get a new toothbrush. Yes, you can get a new toothbrush, but will that just change your teeth overnight? It is just a simple equation that we reject people in our lives, reject friends in our lives who are not conditioned as we are. We don't like their behavior, we don't like their gesture, and we might say them that not to show their face ever again. We might speak like this, that we will not look at the face of this person again. By doing this, what we are doing is we are rejecting that essence below the conditioning. And by not seeing the essence below the conditioning, we are just judging ourselves and judging people. Unless and until you can remove the eyes of judgment while seeing other human beings, you can never be in love. Because to love somebody, you need to be seeing that part of them which is not conditioned, which is not acceptable. Learn to know that it was not easy for anybody to get conditioned also. When we were small little children and our parents would have told us to follow a certain path, we would have never agreed to them. We would have never followed them. But as life went by, slowly and slowly, we all fell into the pattern. And those patterns became our defensive mechanism because we can't do without those patterns. It is not easy to challenge the patterns on which we are born, challenge the religion that we belong to, challenge the people around us. All that we will find is curse or maybe fear that we will be left alone. And that's where it is very difficult to come out of conditioning. Unless one becomes completely fearless, there is no chance that the person's conditioning will come to an end. So, where should that journey start? The journey definitely has to start by questioning your judgments of others. Your judgment, how you just name some people that they are bad, they are like this, they will never change, and you never want to talk to them. Just assuming that the conditioning of a person can never change is your own conditioning, and you have to come out of that conditioning. And to love somebody beyond their conditioning needs the ability to forgive them. Not only them, their parents, not only their parents, the entire human fraternity who have inflicted such deep conditioning in people that two people cannot stay with each other in the same house without fighting. Think about it.